Hello guys, welcome to the next video on Linux command line tutorial for beginners, and in this video we will see how we can use mv command in Linux. So let's get started. I will just press Ctrl Alt T to open my terminal, and you can see on my desktop I have a directory and a file, right? So first of all I will browse to my directory using cd command and press enter, and I can ls here and I can see I have directory 1 and file 1. Now to use mv command we have this option. So you use mv command with some options, and then you have a source and then a destination. Okay, so first you use mv as a command, then you can use options like -v or -i or -f. Then comes your source file. It can be one or many files or directories, and then comes the destination file or directory. Okay, so let's see how we can use it. So first of all, I have this file 1 and I want to use mv command to change the name of this file, for example. So I will just use mv and then the name of the file, and then I will just give some other name to the file, for example file2.txt. okay, and press enter, and you will see here this file becomes file2. okay, and the content of the file will remain the same. So I can use cat command to display the content of the file. So just use cat, and I have this content in my file 1, which is also transferred to the file 2. Now for example, I want to create a new file and move the content of file 2 to file 3, for example, and I want to just transfer all the content of file 2 to file 3. So I can just use mv and then file 2, which is a source, and then I can just write file 3.txt here and press enter, and you will observe here that file 2 is gone now and file 3 is created, and the content of the file we can check is the same as file 2 because it has changed the name of the file and moved the content of the file to file 3. So if the file doesn't really exist, then it's going to create the file, the simple formula of this. Now for example, I want to move this file 3 to directory 1. I can just use mv and then the file name and then my directory name. Right now, for example, I will just open this directory, and you can see here file 2 is already there, and I'm going to transfer file 3 also there, right? So I will just press enter, mv and the file name and the destination name, and then I will ls directory 1, and let's see the content of it, and you can see now it has file 2 and file 3 both. Okay, so in this way you can transfer the file or move the file to a directory using the move command. Okay, now for example, I will create a new file, for example file 3 once again. So I will just say file3.txt, and this is a new file I want to create on the desktop, and the content, for example, will be some random text here. Okay, and I will just press Ctrl D to end the file. So this is file 3, and I want to move this file to directory 1, which already have file 3. So let's see what happens. Now this file 3 new file contains random text, and the old file which is in the directory 3 contains this kind of text. I can show you this kind of text, right? So now what I want is I want to transfer this file 3 to the directory 1. So I can just use mv, and then I can use the name of the file, and once again what I have done is I've given the destination name, which is directory 1, right? Now let me open the directory 1 and we will see what happens. and the result of it. So I will just press enter, and it will move the content of file 3, which is on the desktop, to the directory 1. And what happens here is it will overwrite. So the file 3 which was there on the desktop is overwritten, and this file in the directory 1 is overwritten by the desktop file 3. Okay, so I can just cat dir1 file 3, for example, and the content will be the random content which we have given, which is the new file 3 which we have created, right? So if you want to move the file which already exists, then it will overwrite the file. Okay, so for example, once again, let's see an example, but this time what we are going to do is we are going to do it with some command. So first of all, I will create once again file 3, and this time I will once again give some random text here and press Ctrl D, and this time instead of using this command like this, I will use a flag I, and flag I or -I stands for interactive mode. So it will ask you if you want to override the file which was already present in the directory 1 with the same name. So I'm going to just press enter, and you can see it will ask me if I want to overwrite, and when I press Y and press enter, it's going to overwrite the file, or if I press N and press enter, it's not going to overwrite the file which was already there in directory 1, right? So I will press N and it will not overwrite. Okay, let me clear the terminal. Now let's create a directory. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I will just use mkdir command, which we have learned in the previous video, and I will create a directory 2, for example. Oops, the command was wrong. It was mkdir, not makdir. Okay, and it's going to create this directory 2, right? Now for example, I want to transfer the directory inside the directory 2. So for example, I want to transfer the directory 1 inside directory 2. I can use the move command. So I can just write directory 1, mv directory 1, which is my source, and I want to move it inside directory 2. So I can just write the destination name, which is directory 2. And by the way, directory 2 is right now empty. You can see there is no content inside this, and when I press this command and press enter, it's going to move directory 1 inside directory 2. So we can just ls inside directory 2, and you can see directory 1 is there, and inside directory 1 there was some file, right? So I can just write directory 1, directory 2, and inside that I have directory 1, and I can ls the files inside the directory 1 like this, and you can see the content is also moved with the directory. Okay, so you can move the directory and its content using mv command also. Now let's see what happens when the directory which we want to move this directory to doesn't really exist, right? So I will just use mv, and I will just write directory 2, and I want to create a new directory and move the content to this directory 3, right? So when you do this, press enter, the name of the directory is changed and content is moved to this directory 3, and the directory 2 is disappearing, right? So if the directory doesn't exist, it's going to create a directory and then move the content of the directory inside directory 3. So it will not move the directory 2 inside directory 3, but the content of directory 2 inside directory 3. So you can see there is no directory 2 inside directory 3. It's going to create the directory, and you can say it's like renaming the directory if the directory doesn't really exist. And if the directory already exists, then it's going to transfer directory 2 inside directory 3. Okay, So I hope you understood this basic concept which I want to convey here, right? Now there are many command which we can use. For example, mv minus v for verbose, and for example, once again I want to transfer the file 3 to the directory, so I will just give the directory name and press enter, and it gives you the explanation what this command has done. So it has moved this file 3 to the directory 3, right, and it has overwritten this thing, right? And there are many commands, and these command you can know by using this command which is man and then mv command. Okay, so just write man and mv, and it's going to give you the whole description of using mv command, right? So you can use minus b with mv command or minus f with mv command. We have already seen, and these are the description of all the flags and options you have with mv command. So just use this and read these descriptions, and you will be good to go. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please rate, comment and subscribe, and bye for now.